Have you ever wondered why the world map looks the way it does? Or why English is spoken in so many corners of the globe? The answer, in large part, lies in a powerful and often brutal force that reshaped our planet over the last 500 years: colonialism. It's a heavy topic, but understanding it is key to understanding the world we live in today. So, let's dive into how colonialism forged the modern era. It all really kicks off in the late 15th century, during the so-called Age of Discovery. European powers like Spain and Portugal, armed with new maritime technologies, set out to find new trade routes to Asia. But instead of just trading, they started conquering. Christopher Columbus's arrival in the Americas in 1492 marked a turning point. What followed was a wave of European expansion that saw vast empires built on the exploitation of land and people across the Americas, Africa, and Asia. This wasn't just about planting flags on new territory. It was about economics. European nations established colonies to extract valuable resources. Think of the gold and silver from the Americas that fueled European economies, the sugar from Caribbean plantations that changed diets back home, or the rubber from Southeast Asia that was essential for the Industrial Revolution. This system, known as mercantilism, was designed to enrich the colonizing mother country at the expense of the colonies. Wealth was siphoned away from colonized lands, creating a massive economic imbalance that, in many ways, still exists today. This is the foundation of the global economic divide we often talk about, the gap between the developed and developing world. But how did they justify this? Colonizers often promoted an ideology of racial and cultural superiority. They framed their actions as a civilizing mission, arguing they were bringing progress, Christianity, and modernity to supposedly backward peoples. This racist ideology was used to justify the often violent subjugation of indigenous populations and the horrors of the transatlantic slave trade, which forcibly moved millions of Africans to the Americas to work on plantations. This legacy of racial hierarchy has left deep and painful scars that continue to affect societies worldwide, fueling systemic racism and inequality. The political impact of colonialism was just as profound. European powers drew arbitrary borders on maps, often cutting across existing ethnic, linguistic, and cultural groups or lumping rival groups together into a single colony. Look at a map of Africa. Many of those straight-line borders were drawn by European diplomats in the 1884 Berlin Conference, with zero regard for the people who actually lived there. When these colonies gained independence in the 20th century, these artificial borders became a major source of internal conflict, civil wars, and political instability that many nations are still grappling with. Colonialism also fundamentally changed cultures. Colonizers imposed their own languages, religions, and systems of education. This is why French is an official language in Senegal and English is spoken in India. While this sometimes led to a fusion of cultures, it often resulted in the suppression of indigenous traditions, languages, and knowledge systems. The psychological impact of being told your culture is inferior is immense, leading to a sense of cultural loss and what some scholars call a colonial mentality that can take generations to overcome. Of course, this story isn't just about oppression. It's also a story of resistance. From the very beginning, colonized peoples fought back. They organized rebellions, formed nationalist movements, and used both peaceful protest and armed struggle to fight for their freedom. Leaders like Mahatma Gandhi in India, Nelson Mandela in South Africa, and Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam became global icons of anti-colonial resistance. The mid-20th century saw a wave of decolonization, as one by one, colonies declared independence, forever changing the world map once again. But did colonialism really end? Even after formal independence, many new nations found themselves trapped in a system of economic and political dependence on their former colonizers, a phenomenon known as neocolonialism. Global trade systems, international financial institutions, and the political influence of powerful nations often perpetuate the old colonial power dynamics, just in a more subtle form. The resources still flow from the global south to the global north, and economic policies are often dictated by former colonial powers. So, when we look at the world today, at global inequality, political conflicts, racial tensions, and even the food we eat and the languages we speak, we are seeing the long shadow of colonialism. It's a complex and often uncomfortable history, but it's a history that is essential for making sense of our present. Understanding this legacy isn't about assigning blame. It's about acknowledging the historical forces that have shaped our interconnected world and working towards a more just and equitable future for everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video insightful, please give it a like and subscribe for more deep dives into the forces that shape our world. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.